Have you ever noticed how some people only correct you when others are watching? They don't pull you aside. They don't speak privately. They wait. They wait for the meeting, for the group chat, for the dinner table, for the audience. And then suddenly, they point out your mistake. They laugh at your slip up. They question your competence. Everyone looks at you. You force a smile. You laugh it off. But inside, and something tightens. Your chest burns. Your thoughts scramble. You replay it later that night. What should I have said? Why didn't I respond? Why do they do this to me? That wasn't honesty. That was strategy. And if you don't understand what just happened, you will keep losing. Centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli understood something brutal about human nature. Public humiliation is not about truth. It is about power. And today we're going to break down exactly how to destroy anyone who tries to shame you. Not emotionally, not dramatically, but strategically. Let's get something clear. Shame is one of the oldest dominance tools in human history. Long before social media, long before corporate offices, long before classrooms and comment sections, humans competed for status inside tribes, and status meant survival. Higher status meant protection, resources, influence, mates, authority. Lower status meant invisibility, vulnerability, exclusion. Public shaming is a fast way to shift status. When someone humiliates you in front of others, they are doing one thing. They are lowering your position to raise theirs. It feels personal, but it's strategic. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that rulers must avoid being despised or ridiculed at all costs, because once contempt enters the room, authority dissolves. And here's why this matters to you. Whether it's a coworker, a friend, a sibling, a partner, or a boss, if someone can successfully shame you publicly without consequence, they gain psychological leverage over you, and leverage compounds. They'll do it again and again until your silence becomes your identity. But here's the part that will surprise you. The worst thing you can do is defend yourself. Yes, the instinct to explain, to justify, to argue your innocence, that instinct, it's exactly what hands them the victory. Let me show you why. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Shame only works if you emotionally react inside their frame. When someone says, "Wow, you really messed that up," or "Do you even know what you're doing?" they are not presenting facts. They are setting a frame. In their frame, they are superior. You are inferior. They judge. You defend. And the moment you start explaining yourself, you step into their courtroom. Now they control the rules. Machiavelli warned leaders never to be forced into a defensive posture publicly, because once you are seen defending yourself emotionally, you appear weaker, and humans instinctively follow strength. Here's the darker truth. Many people who shame others do it because they sense an opportunity, not always consciously, but instinctively. They sense hesitation, insecurity, overagreeableness, the need to be liked, and they test it. Public shame is often a test. Will this person push back? Will they crumble? Can I dominate them socially? If you crumble, you confirm the hierarchy. If you explode, you look unstable. Either way, they win, unless you understand the game. So how do you destroy someone who shames you? Not with louder insults, not with revenge, not with passive aggression. You destroy them by doing something far more unsettling. You remove their emotional reward. And once you understand how shame feeds on reaction, you'll never respond the same way again. Let's break this down step by step. Step 1. Control the internal battlefield. The first war is inside you. When you are shamed, your nervous system fires instantly. Your brain interprets public embarrassment as social rejection. And to the primitive brain, rejection equals danger. That's why your face heats up, why your heart races, why your mind goes blank. Machiavelli believed that anyone who cannot control themselves cannot control others. So the first move is simple. Slow your breathing, relax your shoulders, hold steady eye contact. Do not rush to speak. Silence is power. Most people react fast. Powerful people react slow. Speed signals emotion, slowness signals control, and control is intimidating. Step 2, refuse the frame. When someone shames you, they offer a narrative. You're incompetent. You're always late. You don't understand. Most people argue inside that narrative. That's the trap. Instead, you refuse it. Example, someone says, "Wow, that was a stupid mistake." Instead of defending, pause, look at them calmly. Say, "Is that how you see it?" Short, neutral, unbothered. Now the burden shifts. They must explain. And when someone has to over-explain their attempt to embarrass you, they start to look insecure. You didn't fight. You didn't flinch. You simply declined their frame. And without your emotional participation, their attempt weakens. Step 3, use strategic minimalism. Machiavelli emphasized appearances. The person who looks stable wins. If you speak too much under pressure, you leak insecurity. So keep responses short, measured, almost boring. Noted. Interesting. Thanks for the feedback. No sarcasm, no hostility, just calm containment. The audience subconsciously shifts. They think, why is this person so calm? Why isn't this landing? And suddenly the attacker feels exposed because humiliation requires visible discomfort. If there's no discomfort, there's no reward. Step 4, shift the spotlight. If the shaming continues, redirect attention. Example, do you ever get anything right? You respond, what specifically are you referring to? Now they must produce evidence. Vague attacks thrive in ambiguity. Specific questions demand substance. And most humiliation attempts are built on exaggeration. When forced into details, they crumble. You're not attacking. You're clarifying. But clarity destroys emotional manipulation. Step 5, build long-term authority. Machiavelli taught that reputation shields power. If you consistently demonstrate competence, calmness, and restraint, one public jab won't stick. But if your behavior is uncertain, scattered, overly apologetic, people believe the shamer. So the ultimate destruction is not dramatic. It's consistent excellence. Outperform them, outlast them, outgrow them, silently. Over time, the social hierarchy flips because competence compounds and emotional drama decays. But now let's go deeper, because here's something most people don't want to admit. Sometime you are targeted because you signal that you can be, not consciously, but subtly, nervous laughter, constant self-deprecation, over-explaining, seeking approval. Predatory personalities scan for this. Machiavelli warned that appearing weak invites attack. That doesn't mean being cruel. It means being steady. If you repeatedly tolerate humiliation without boundary, you train others how to treat you. Read that again. You train others how to treat you. And if someone learns they can lower you publicly without consequence, they will, until you change the pattern. So here is your single actionable habit. Practice deliberate stillness. The next time someone shames you, pause 3 seconds. eye contact, neutral expression, then respond briefly, or not at all. Stillness destabilizes manipulators because they expect emotional fuel. When you remove that fuel, the fire dies. And here's the deeper truth. You don't destroy someone by humiliating them back. You destroy them by making their strategy ineffective. When humiliation stops working, they either escalate and expose themselves, or they retreat. Either way, you win. Think about the last time someone tried to embarrass you. Imagine responding with calm silence. Imagine holding your posture. Imagine letting the tension hang in the air until they feel it instead. That is power. Not loud, not dramatic, not explosive, controlled, measured, unshakable. Machiavelli didn't teach cruelty. He taught strategic perception. And when you master perception, no one can socially corner you again. If you want more deep breakdowns on Machiavelli, power dynamics, and psychological strategy, make sure you subscribe to the channel because the real battles in life are rarely physical. They're psychological, and the people who understand the game never look shaken.